Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Camilla aka CamiSimming and welcome to this new speed build. Today we're building in Windenburg as last time probably. I can't remember. Anyway, we are building in Windenburg and we are building something that's heavily inspired by the new expansion pack that it's gonna come out like in 2 weeks, 10 days probably. Of course, this is not going to be inspired by Japanese culture or Japanese architecture in any way, because one, I wasn't inspired to do such a thing, and two, I don't know, I didn't feel like doing this, and I didn't want to like mess with the objects that we already have in game, because just the thought of the amount of new objects that we are gonna get with the new pack and with the new like architectural style that are gonna be so much better than anything that I could do at this point. Yeah, like this idea here stopped me from trying to actually build something Japanese inspired. But anyway, this ends up being like kind of a cabin, a modern cabin. In just a moment, you will see that I switched the season to winter, so I had to actually like bring a sim here and use their money and their mailbox to turn the season to winter and turn the weather to snowy with MC Command Center, and I had a ton of fun building this. I went there, it's like it was very spontaneous. I like when I can like just go in game and start building instead of researching and like have an idea of what I want to build. I just wanted to build something in the snow, and this is what I came up with. So I hope that you will like it. I like it a ton. I think it suits my style very nicely. It's really close to my real style of interiors, and I had a ton of fun with the landscaping as well. I went a little bit crazy with the debug menu, the debug catalog, because I used a ton of debug plants and landscaping, flowers, bushes, trees, everything. So you will see it in just a second that I went crazy. I scrolled like through the whole menu, and whenever I found something, I just grabbed it and placed it down. And the entryway, as you can see now, initially used to be on the left side of the build, but then I had to switch it because I didn't find a way to put stairs there, like a way that I liked. So I just scrapped that idea and I decided to make it into a balcony. And this cabin ends up having space for two sims or a single sim if you prefer it this way. And I think that at least one of them is like a journalist or a photographer, or maybe one of them is a journalist and the other one is a photographer, because I gave them a couple of cameras and a very cool office space next to the bed, which I think is so cool. I combined a shelf with an island counter that I sized down, and well, you will see it. I'm just getting ahead of myself right now. Now I'm working on the landscaping because I didn't want to do it like with snow, because you can't actually see what you're doing with terrain paint and with plants. So because they get all covered in snow and many of them are like dead since it's winter, of course. So I just did everything beforehand, so that's why we are not in winter already, because I wanted to make sure that everything looked fine also in summer and not just cute in winter but like terrible in summer. So, and yeah, I sped up this footage a ton because it was so long. It took me a pretty like a while to get everything done, everything the way I wanted it to. And the thing that I like realized just now when I was editing is that I forgot to paint the walls of the pool, which is something that I always like to do whenever I can. So especially when I do that, I do pools like as if they were ponds. So I grabbed something very dark to color the flooring of the pool and also the walls, but here I forgot. So I'm very sorry. This build is already on the gallery, so if you want to use it, consider just adding some color tiles to the pool. But I filled the pool with greenery and with rocks, so it looks a lot like an actual pond, an actual like sort of small lake, I don't know. And I liked it like a ton. I had a blast like searching through the debug catalog for things that might go well in this. And I used also stuff from Island Living and Jungle Adventure, so like I didn't limit myself. Whatever I found that could like go with this one, I just put it down. And yeah, so because it was like a very lush and very pond like nature, a very pond like landscaping, so it's not the prettiest, like the most aesthetically pleasing. Is very green, very chaotic also, and because that was the look that I was going for, that I wanted to have here. And here we are in winter, like magically, and I loved how everything looked like in winter. It's so beautiful, I think. And here we've moved on with the interior, and I started by creating a sort of divider between the living space and the bedroom, and I used a ton of windows and I combined them to create some like fun patterns. And I also saw like Evelyn just yesterday that did it with, I don't know, the same exact windows from Get Famous, and I swear I didn't copy her. Like, we just had the same idea at the same time, more or less. But yeah, and I liked also those windows from Discovery University. I think they are super like cool and more rustic than the rest of the house. So I don't know, they were a very cool touch that like from like a break from the modern and industrial architecture that I had going on here. And I went all Jungle Adventure with the kitchen. I used the Jungle Adventure fridge and the Jungle Adventure stove. And I also combined some counters with a sink, this sink from Parenthood. So because I wanted to have like a decent sized kitchen, and if I used everything like in that corner space there, I wouldn't have had much space for like to prepare food, like just the corner counter, and I wanted to clutter it up a little bit, so I like worked my way around it in some ways. And this is the fun office space that I was talking about earlier. I just cluttered the shelf up, and I added, as I told you before, some cameras. One of them I don't think it's actually functional, I just think it's like a clutter item, but yeah, that's cool with me at least. So, and I tried to cover the small island counter with something, and in the end I opted for the vent that's in debug that you can rotate freely and you can like place it doesn't snap to the wall. And a big shout out to Julia Builds, because she actually helped me finding this item, because I scrolled debug for 5 minutes and I couldn't find it, and that's because it's like at the very end of the catalog. So yeah, and this is the bedroom space. It's not actually a bedroom, it's like sleeping space, I don't know, slash office slash dresser unit, I don't know. And I was very indecisive about which couches to use, because none of them really spoke to me, so I had to like pause and get back to it later. And I used this fun base game like stone tile, which I think it was so fun to choose because it's very patterned and very like rustic. I think it would be perfect also in a more traditional cabin, and I thought it was nice also in here, like as the windows from Discovery University. Also, this one was like a break from the rest of the very modern style, contemporary style. And this is the tiny bathroom, actually it's not so tiny. It's like a decent 2x3 bathroom. They don't have not a swimming pool. They don't have a bathtub because I am just imagined that a shower was enough, and also because here I wanted to include a small dining space, so I couldn't like move the door too much, so I had to have some space, some free space inside the bathroom. And here I'm swapping the season's couch for the tiny living chair at first, and then also the tiny living love seat. And here I'm rearranging a bit the window situation, and I changed the door also because it's not like the entrance door, so it didn't need to be so huge. And so I added another one of those windows, and I did once again that trick with those Get Famous windows, and I think it's so cool. Like, it creates a very fun pattern, and I love the update that we had with the possibility to move windows around wherever we want, because you can create some custom windows. It's very fun to try and to play around with it. So yeah, and I combined a couple of rugs, and then I started cluttering the kitchen like crazy. You probably know that I'm not like super I don't usually clutter my kitchen like a lot, and in general I don't clutter spaces a lot. So but here I went all in with stuff in on this bookcase and on these counters. Here I added a dish rack, and I thought it was so cute here behind this very cute little sink. And yeah, I just added other stuff also to decorate here the walls and the counter, the corner counter there in the kitchen. And I think this is pretty much it for everything for the whole build, because then I will change a bit like the dresser area in the bedroom, because I didn't like it so much. And here I'm adding this like plant kind of stuff from Eco Lifestyle that looks like kind of a place where you could grow your own herbs. I don't know if you, I don't know. Okay, herbs or herbs, I don't know. And yeah, I think this is pretty much it for the build. I will, as I told you, just clutter the final surfaces, and I rearranged here the dresser situation. And yeah, I think I will leave you to the rest of it if that's okay. I hoped that you enjoyed today's build. It's a very short one, but it's super cute, I think. If you did like it, please leave it a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will see you all in my next video, and have a great day. Bye everybody.